Hello guys, welcome back to Satisfactory and welcome back to the channel. Last time in this series we finished our concrete factory, which was part 1 of 3 of our steel factory build. You guys absolutely loved that one and I really do appreciate all the support you've been giving me recently. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. But today we're getting into the iron factory part of the build. But we've got a lot to get through today, so if you do enjoy the video, make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe if you do want to see more builds like this in the future. Gone with a bit of a curved platform to start off with a 4-meter foundation gap underneath for the conveyor belts. And then I do actually end up straightening it up and then only using the curve on the kind of outer facing wall. Then I've put some steps in and just curved this wall here, and then I wanted a bit of a curve on the corner just to match with the flow of the design. So I'm just using the road barriers here to give me, I think it's a 10-degree turn, whereas the other curves that I've used before are a 5-degree angle. So I'll come in with the road barrier, we just snap it right on the edge of the foundation, and then if we hold control and rotate using the mouse wheel, it rotates one increment, which is 10 degrees, and then we just snap the foundation to that road barrier once placed. And then obviously come back in and get rid of the road barriers. So now I've got the floor in, and I know I can fit the 16 refineries in. Again, they do change where they are, so I haven't shown me placing them down. But now we've got all that in, I can start placing the roof. So I'm just using this blueprint that gives us a slight, that gives us a 5-degree bend. You just have to kind of nudge them into each other. And then the painted beams kind of help you line it all up. So and it gives you this nice smooth curve. And doing it like this just means you don't have to kind of use the foundation rotation technique where you have like a center point and allows you to build curves and tighter spaces. Once the guides are in, we'll come back in with the ramps then, because obviously I want this roof to be at a slope, so I just kind of nudge the double ramp into each one. Just kind of moving them down as I go, just so they all line up nicely. And then once all the ramps are in, we can go ahead and remove the guides that we placed earlier. And then that just leaves us a nice smooth ramp that's also curving as well. And we just come along and thicken it up by placing it on the inside. If we placed it on the outside, it'd leave like a tiny little gap on the ramps between each one. So the reason I've stopped kind of building the roof and I've got the glass in here because it kind of dictates where everything else is going to be, because they are a set size and I don't want them clipping into each other. It'll give us more black bars than I want. Just trying to get the right angle, so I end up shifting this one back across just so it lines up nicely. And then just removing them bottom two there for what is eventually going to be the doorway. But I do think I narrow it down to one again, which is it is kind of hard to show the building process of these builds. So you do have to bear with me quite a bit. There's a bit here, there, and everywhere just because the designs are fairly complicated, I guess. But I don't do any prior planning, so I'm kind of building as I go. I'm coming up with ideas as I go, so a lot of things do change, and building in this kind of style where you're not restricted to the grid, obviously it comes with its own problems of kind of refineries lining up when I came to doing the belt work, I came into a load of problems of, I thought it would be a good idea to place some of the refineries on a slight angle to match the contour of the rocks. And it does look nice, but it made the belt work a bit of a pain. Obviously the conveyor floor holes weren't lining up nicely, and when I got them to line up nicely, the conveyor lifts weren't working, so I've had to kind of clip it through the floor hole to make it work, but I can kind of show you that once we get into the walk around later on. But yeah, as I was saying, you just kind of, I do like to include the building just because hopefully you guys can pick up some tips and tricks, and see, I like to talk about me thought process as best as I can. Which is, it's a bit hard to kind of get me thoughts down into words sometimes, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm thinking when I'm building these things, and I definitely would recommend building them in your own world. Probably not. Probably not, because like I say, it does require a lot of patience, a lot of tweaking. So I wasn't really happy with how kind of flat these support pillars were, so I came up with an idea of using the big pillars to give us a kind of a sloping angle. And holy moly, painted beams have come in clutch. They've come in clutch this build, I'm not going to lie, and I'm definitely going to be kind of leaning more into using them in the future, just because obviously you can kind of create a lot more unique shapes with them. They're just really good for connecting up like awkward angles and awkward shapes. And if you don't know, with the painted beam, you can kind of connect 2 points with it, and then any foundation, wall, any piece will obviously snap to that exact angle, and it'll fill in the gap nicely, which I will show another example very shortly. Just getting the rest of the windows in, and I gave up trying to get it on the curve and lining up. And if I'd kind of actually planned this build a bit better, I would have made sure that where I wanted the windows lines up with the curve, so they all kind of snap nicely. But I end up just coming across straight, and then obviously going straight across here, as you can see, just so I didn't have to deal with any awkward curves. We do lose a bit of space inside, but it's all good. It's all good. I don't even know. I might have actually changed that. Thinking back, might have actually tweaked the window there, but see, you'll see all that in the walk around. So going back to the painted beams, how they've come in clutch, I came up with this kind of little design with the basic walls, almost like sunshades. Like if you look at like kind of tall buildings that are majority glass, they'll have these kind of metal surrounds, or some will, that kind of act as a sunshade to give a bit of protection from the sun, because obviously otherwise it's just a massive greenhouse, and the air conditioning bill would be through the roof. So I mean, I've only added them in here because I thought they looked cool, but obviously that's a bit of inspiration behind that. Like I say, the painted beam, I just kind of pick the point on the left and the right, and then the wall snaps to it, just as you've seen there. And I can come in and delete the alternating ones. Then we're just using the label signs. A lot of people have been asking me how I get the thin strips of lights. Majority of the time it is the label sign, the 4 meter label sign. I'll either kind of clip it into the beams that I've been using around the windows to give like a very thin strip, or use the whole piece like I have here. So jumping forward a little bit, we've got the majority of the roof done. It does change a bit slightly, and we've got the supports in, we've got the walls in, we've got all the lights in, looking very sexy, very nice.
Great success.
And if you notice that the angles on the roof piece at the front there, how it kind of contours the curve, that's again just using the painted beams and getting the foundations to kind of line up with the quarter foundations. And if I'm explaining this really badly, I do apologise. Just let me know down below if you're still struggling, or jump in the Discord and I'll try and help you out as best as I can. We've already got one pillar in, just using obviously the beam to get it lined up, and then I come in, snap it to the existing pillar, nudge it over and zoop it across. Obviously I could use foundations as well, but I do like the look of the pillars there, and it also gives us a bit more flexibility when it comes to this window, because the angle of the ramp on the right is a bit tight.
Yeah, boy.
I can't actually get the 4 sets of pillars in. And then coming to the other window, we just again put the beam in to give us that the right angle, and then come in with the pillar, zoop that across, and same for the other 2. Now, as you can see, because the angle of the ramp there is so tight compared to the other one, it does actually fill up that side. So I had to get a bit creative, and I've used the painted beam again just to give us a bit of an angle, as you can see. So this will just close up that gap nicely using the pillars. Just nudging it into place and then zoop it across. And we won't worry about that little gap. So just finishing off the windows, just usual quarter pipe at the bottom, because I love them curves. Then I was going to put a half foundation in there, but thought it'd be a bit efficient with the pieces using the inner corner extension. He says there's so much clipping going on in these builds, I tell you. Oh god. So just coming in to do the other support, the angled support, I'll start off with this 4x4x4 foundation. Obviously you can do it without if you aren't playing with mods. Obviously no mods are really needed for this build. So if you are playing vanilla, you can definitely you can build it in your world. Whether you want to or not is a different story. So just putting in the foundations at the bottom, but it doesn't give us the right snapping point. As you can see, it's kind of like going between 2 snapping points there. So what I do, I actually get rid of these foundations temporarily, and then I snap a foundation to the actual the pillar we've got there going on, and that gives us the right snapping point, just like so. So just while I'm finishing up, I hope this has been kind of helpful for you guys. So I don't normally show any of the building process in my videos, but obviously I feel like it is helpful for you guys to see little bits of behind the scenes. But obviously it's a bit of a learning curve for me. Obviously I have to be super conscious of how I'm building stuff, how I'm moving the camera about. So obviously all that's a learning curve, but so you'll just have to bear with me. But I am in the works of getting a second kind of computer setup, so we'll be able to kind of show a third person kind of perspective on the upcoming build. That'll be definitely something coming in the future episodes. But we're coming to the end of the building process now, so we'll just jump straight into real time, and we'll have a little walk around the building. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed the building video there, and if it has helped you out in any way, remember to show your support down below. A lot of time does go into these videos, but obviously I can't really show it all on YouTube. So we'll just go ahead and take a tour of the outside first. I don't know how I do it, but every time I do a build like this, it just fits perfectly to the surrounding area, almost. And obviously that's what I'm kind of going for with all these builds, to try and fit them in with the surrounding area. I'm going to be honest, this is the first time I've actually walked around at kind of eye level, I guess. Pioneer level. And this build is something else. Alright, then just coming over to the side, I didn't obviously show this in the building footage, but just because it's very similar to the concrete factory, the kind of truck station we built over there. And it is also subject to change, because at some point I've got to get trucks in here, automatic, like on a autopilot. So this terrain could be a bit difficult. I might end up kind of leveling it off to this kind of height and doing the ramps over here. But obviously I just needed to kind of get something in for now. And get our kind of truck station in there. But yeah, I was kind of a bit pushed for time, because I did want to get a video finished for this Friday coming up. Obviously it's out now already, but I'm recording this a week beforehand, because I'm actually currently away on holiday. But I've been trying to keep up with the regular uploads on Fridays now at 3 o'clock. So yeah, it's been a bit of a stressful week, this one, because I've just obviously uploaded one well, as I'm speaking, I've just uploaded one yesterday. Then I just kind of rushed around like a madman, getting this one ready for schedule to go up Friday whilst I'm away. A few extra little details I'd like to do, but I think overall it's looking pretty good. So we'll just go ahead to the top. So coming to the stairs, I did want to try and get kind of 2 angles, and because I've had to kind of trim some off this side, it hasn't really shown it as much as I wanted to. But you can see here they're kind of like a bit of an angled staircase. And again, I probably need to put some trim up here and that kind of stuff. Then I did adjust the glass on this side and reduce the opening to a one glass space. Oh, I tell you what, me and words sometimes, they just doesn't happen. But yeah, I pushed the glass back just so we could actually walk around here. Look at this view. Beautiful. Anyway. Then I've gone ahead and put this trim around everywhere, which again, I was in 2 minds whether to do, just because the glass is at all different angles, and I did kind of change up the glass a little bit in here, just as a thought. But yeah, like I say, obviously these are all different angles, so I did have to come in and individually place these ones on this one. I've got a blueprint for kind of straight windows, but you know me, I don't make anything easy for myself. Oh. Yeah, obviously not a lot to really show inside, I guess. Well, there is, but there isn't again. It is just a concrete... It is just an iron factory at the end of the day with 16 refineries. But that isn't what you're here to see. I hope not, anyway. Because there's definitely people who do it better. And looking at these refineries now, I have got them on a slight curve, and just to kind of contour with the rock, as I was saying. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not, because I've literally just this second I've had to come in and fix a couple of these because they weren't kind of lined up properly with the floor holes. So these aren't actually connected to the floor hole. The floor hole is just kind of there for show now, because it was slightly out of line and it wasn't plain ball. So I had to kind of clip that through, and I am not showing you the logistics under here. I mean, I'll give you a little sneak preview. Give you a little sneak. It's not the best. It's not the best, like when you're putting your machines at all different angles and positionings instead of a straight line. The logistics can get a bit messy, but we do love spaghetti on this channel.
Nice.
We do love spaghetti. So yeah, there's a rare insight of what goes on underneath all the madness. Little bonus for if you've made it this far. And then with the roof, I really wanted to kind of show all these different kind of changes in heights. I didn't want to hide any of that on the inside. And I was in two minds to whether to put glass here, but that would have been a whole headache in itself. And yeah, just kind of building it around these rocks, just as like kind of a lovely showcase, I guess, if you like rock. Again, like I say, I just kind of came in quickly and sorted out the machine so they'd actually be running. Now, a little bit about the machines, a little bit about the numbers on the machines, because I know some people do like that, but obviously this isn't what the series is about at all. But we've got 2 pure iron nodes downstairs. I'll just pop through here. Got 2 pure iron nodes here and here. If I just fly, I'll be able to reach them. And they're pushing out 600. Obviously, we haven't got the capacity for 600 yet, but I've built it to accommodate that in the future. So once we get the upgraded belts, we can come and upgrade the belts.
Thank you for that.
So then we've got 1200 coming in the bottom. The first line of 600 is being split between the first 8. 300 each side, and then obviously each of these are producing or consuming 75. If I can, there we go. Each one's fully overclocked, consuming 75, or will be eventually. And obviously this is outputting it 75 iron per minute, which obviously gives us 1200 iron per minute. Now, you will have to forgive me on the numbers for the steel factory itself. We will get into that in the next episode, but I can't remember how much of this iron is going to go over to the steel factory, but I did want to make kind of full use of the 2 pure iron nodes we've got here. So yeah, obviously the 600's coming in, split between these 2, and then the other 600 is split between these 2. A lot of fun story. I was coming to do the belt work, and then I realised at some point I got rid of the original 4 refineries I placed down on that lower level. So I'd actually only placed 12 refineries in here. So that's why these 4 have ended up here. Kind of clipping through a little bit just to give us the even amount to either side here, but yeah, got right to the end. I was like, I actually haven't got enough refineries in here. So yeah, I had to add them couple of them 4 there, but I don't think it kind of takes away too much. Potentially I could add like another pillar here, if we just kind of do something like this maybe, and then that could be like a different room altogether. But like I say, unfortunately we did run out of time for this build, but I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, I'm very happy with it. Very happy with how this one's come out. And then saving the best for last, I'll quickly show you the what are these called? The miners. Oh god, my head's gone. Spend way too much time on this game recently. All in good fun though, all enjoyable. All good. You just seen there how I've used these conveyor wall holes. All I'll do is kind of lock it into place there, and then kind of just nudge it down like that into place, he says. Like that. Just to give it, obviously it is clipping through, but obviously this visually now looks like it's meant to go through that foundation there. And I've started using the walls a lot more. Started bringing these into play in this build. So up until this point, it's all been very white, and so I'm kind of experimenting with the walls. And I do like, I'm not too sure about in here. I don't like the 90-degree angle, but unfortunately, I couldn't place the curved foundations here, just because it would you would clip through the other side. But from out here, it just gives a bit of visual interest looking in. Because obviously you can't actually get access into there, which probably flags some health and safety issues somewhere. But yeah, and I've just realised this mine is floating, which I will sort out at some point. But guys, I think we're coming to the end of the walk around the tour there, and I really hope you like this one. I think this is probably one of my favourites so far, if I'm being honest. And I'm definitely going to adopt this style a bit more with like the external pillars and with the kind of glass recessed a little bit. I think I can use that again, or kind of that to that effect. But that just about wraps it up for this episode. So now that we got the iron and the concrete facilities done, next episodes we're going to be tying it all together with the steel factory, and then we're going to be connecting all three factories together with trucks, which I cannot wait to do. I've actually run out of steel beams now because my steel factory is out of action. I just want to take the time to say thank you for all your recent support on the videos. I'm loving this series so much. And like I've said in the previous videos, it's giving me the creative freedom to kind of come up with these weird designs and just really to go wild with it and kind of come up with whatever I can think of, and see how much you guys are enjoying these builds and how much it's kind of inspiring others for their worlds. It just means so much to me, guys. It really does. It really does. And we're pushing on for 5,000 subscribers, which is absolutely wild, because obviously when I started back up with the YouTube, we were kind of sitting just below 3,000 subscribers. So, and now we've almost doubled that in such a short space of time, which is absolutely amazing. Like, yeah. So if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to leave a like. It really does help the channel out a lot, and it really does kind of show YouTube that this is some good content that people need to see. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just delusional. But either way, like the video, please. I beg you. And if you have been inspired by today's episode, we do have a Discord down below. I'd love to see what you're building in your worlds. Like, so it is a bit all over the place at the moment, the Discord, but I am trying to get something going over there, trying to get it up and running. But the link is in the description for that one. And if you do want to help out the channel even further, I do have a Patreon as well, and that link is also down below. But with all that out of the way, I really can't wait to see you in the next episode. Ginge out.